name is Christina Sell. These are yoga tips for hip opening. I've selected 3 postures to incorporate into your practice because of what they do to increase the range of motion in the joint of the hip. They're really awesome poses: Virasana, hero's pose, and Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose, and Upavishta Konasana, wide ankle posture. All these are done seated and work up to about 5 minutes in each pose. Virasana, start with your knees together, separate your feet to the distance of your outer hips, and then sit down. You can take the calves and smash them straight back behind you and sit down between your heels. If your knees hurt in any way, first thing to try is to pull up on your knees like so and see if you can just liberate that connective tissue or the fascia right around the knees. If that doesn't help, look back at your feet and make sure that you're pointing straight back and drag your big toe towards your pinky toe to tone your shins. If your knees still feel too much pressure here, separate them slightly. A couple other things to try to bring comfort to the knee joint if those alignment tools don't work is to give yourself a prop and put some height underneath your hips. You can even go again, even higher. Virasana. The placement of your knees is dependent on the width of your pelvis, the flexibility of your quadriceps, and the tightness or looseness in the ligaments around your knees. So don't tolerate any knee pain in this pose. It's not really worth it. You can separate your knees a little bit. If you can bring them together with no pain in your knees, bring them together. Virasana. Next pose is Baddha Konasana. Using a wall and a block is a really great way to improve this posture. Bring the soles of your feet together as close up to your hips as you can. When you lower your knees out to the sides and really pull back on your upper outer hips, your knees are higher than the top of your waistline, then sit up on a blanket and that'll give you some more support and it'll help you relax your inner thighs. There's a couple positions that we can try here. When you use the wall, it helps you stay nice up, straight up and down. And this has the soles of the feet together. Push them like crazy. And now from your outer knees, pull up into your hips and create real strength on the underside of your legs and stretch out through your inner knees. Really important when you're working Baddha Konasana is to recruit your gluteus medius muscles. So one way to find that muscle is to lay down on your side like you're doing leg lifts in kind of an 80s aerobics class and lift your leg. And this muscle right up in here that you toned to do that, that muscle we need to recruit it for this posture as well. So as you're working here in your Baddha Konasana, get those muscles in your outer hips to work. Squeeze them. Then you use your block. With the block on the skinny side, with the block a little bit wider. Yeah, and you can see where this is going. The block even wider. And then come back together. And what you'll see is that your knees, after all of that work, they're even lower. I breezed right through that. You should set a timer for at least a minute and work each of those stages. Plane, each stage of the blocks, and then back to the plane stage to see what you got. Do each of those stages for a minute and your 5 minutes will be done. Okay, next stage, Upavishta Konasana. Separate your feet wide and keep scooting your hips up till you're in wide angle posture. Upavishta Konasana. Point your kneecaps straight up and your second toes straight up to the sky. Sit up straight and tall and press your thighs into the floor as you lift your chest. Great. Those are the 3 poses I would suggest to incorporate into your hip opening regime. Virasana internally rotates your legs, Baddha Konasana externally rotates them, and Upavishta Konasana abducts them. So you get a really big full range of motion accessed in your hip joint, and the time spent will start to work at a very deep level of change.